go. Goes pretty fast, bro. Oh, what? Actually flipped. Big semis and that in the way now. Oh, that moto rider's gone. You reckon I can? Almost had ya. It's just the angle and that, the corner. Yeah, nice. That's your nightclub through there, is it? Nah, bro. What are you doing in there? I can just join, can't I? Sounds like Justin and that are here, bro. You reckon they're here? Oh, is Jimmy alright? Get me water for a ciggy. This one's snipers only. Sniper versus snipers. Just a map.
If it comes on this game, probably think you're a chick, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. My team left because we were getting sniped. Dodging bullets. I'm getting right. I can't get any. Who? No, was it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ages ago. Yeah, when you went out, I left. I joined this. There's like 7 on the other side, and there's like 3 on my side. If you can't get a snap, then get wiped again. I didn't think the boys would come back. He's always fucking shit. Yeah, just fell asleep. There's too many of them. There's only two of us and there's eight of them, bro. Even when you think you got them lined up, they don't. Doesn't hit them. How long does this match go for? Another 30 seconds? Holy shit. It's been brutal. It wasn't bad money for deathmatch. 18K. No, I'm just back online now. I'm trying to. Meantime, you have to do that every time, do you? Where we going? What are you doing there? Sure, bro.
God Eye's power was not great for attacks. He had never expected for one moment that it would actually work and that the pseudo-ancestral artifact, with its missing last piece, would actually be restored to a spatial ancestral artifact. At Bobby's level of expertise, he might have succeeded in duplicating an ancestral artifact fragment if he had it in his hand. But each ancestral artifact fragment was different, and he had never even seen the missing piece before. But despite that, the power of realization had worked. Also, as Bobby's God Eye was still in the process of evolving, he sensed that he hadn't used up too much energy during the process.
I'm waiting for you to invite me.
I wonder what level my he thought.
Oh, now it's working.
Use the entire strength of the dream God yet. If he could, it would mean that the eye, together with a spatial ancestral artifact, would be enough to make him a god. But he felt there was still some untapped potential in his dream god eye. There's no rush, he thought. I already have a complete ancestral artifact, so I'll work on understanding the spatial lives and first so that I become a god king. No one had noticed Heaven Ascended turning from a pseudo-ancestral artifact into a spatial ancestral artifact.
What do you want to do? What do I do?
Their attention had been completely focused on the battle between the Heavenly Path God Eyes. Bobby closed his eyes and continued to stand still, using his dream God Eye to construct a dream dimension, and then his mind entered the dream to cultivate. Now that he had a complete spatial ancestral artifact, he was extremely confident that he could bring his spatial law to the stage of perfection. And a god king with a god eye was a which meant that once he became a god king, he would become a god eye deity. In the boundless void, Kendall was still in a stalemate with the five god eyes. God Eye in the center of Kendall's brow was staring at the eye that hovered above the five gods. The bad energies of the two god eyes were fiercely clashing and devouring each other. In the space between the two warring eyes was a zone. Only bad energy could exist there. And if a god king entered, it would instantly return to dust. The power of the two heavenly god eyes exceeded the power of gods. That was precisely why Castor, Casu, and Naveen had not
I can buy it right now.
There was also another factor. It appeared that the god eye died
78,800. Is that what you're selling it for?
devouring said Arlo, of course, devour heavenly path energy because they
Yeah, I just bought it.
if they had been fully in control from the start, Kendall would have been finished. Why should we be afraid of him? Only assassin distinct. Of all the eight god eyes, he hated Kendall the most. Chinevere and Abaddon had both been killed by him. Surely with the heavenly path god eyes, they had created from their five energies. They were certain. I don't think it's going to be that simple, said Godiva. She was worried. The fact that Kendall could resist the five of them so far was the clearest proof that there was a lot more to him. He must have some secret, she thought. As she looked on, Godiva suddenly change. I forgot to tell you something, said Kendall with a sinister smile. The original body of the heavenly pathai of the ancestors was the ancient demon god body. It was called the ancient ancestral god. As a result, the ancient race bloodline and the heavenly path godai can boost each other's powers to a certain extent. The godai deities weren't too surprised to hear that. In their minds, whoever had the heavenly pathai of the ancestors would be invincible, so it seemed more than likely that they would also have an ancient demon god body. What Kendall had said had also answered another of their questions, explaining why he was now strong enough to defeat a single godai on his own. But just when all of them thought that Kendall might just be casually boasting, his heavenly path godai changed. It gathered around the center, and the eye began to exude even purer energy that reigned like a god over the world. The god-eye illusions behind Kendall also changed, turning hazy and faint while the eye in the center became clearer. The opaque, gray-white eye had many vague inscriptions within it that shifted according to some mysterious rule. Anyone looking at the cold, emotionless, and intimidating energy radiating out from the eye would immediately feel completely vulnerable and insignificant. Kendall began to laugh, his forehead erupting with a supreme heavenly path energy that shook the heavens. What's going on? Arlo asked in alarm as he exerted all his strength into controlling the heavenly path godai above him. Why does his eye suddenly get stronger? We're gradually losing ground. The other godai deities were also shocked. Kendall's heavenly path energy was getting stronger, and he was gradually beginning to devour more and more of their energy. On the White Warship, Lady Louisa and Desnudo watched in horror. It looks as though the heavenly path godai that they created has not only strengthened Kendall's eye, but it's also stimulated its evolution and fusion, said Lady Louisa, her eyes growing wide with astonishment. The godeyes can boost each other's powers, and the same principle applied to the heavenly path godai. Although their eye was the stronger of the two, Kendall's heavenly path godai was more complete and more involved. It seemed that the conflict had stimulated its development. His eye has already surpassed the domain of god eyes. I don't think it would be too much to call it a pseudo-ancestral eye, Desnudo remarked. He appeared calm, but inside, he was starting to panic. He wasn't the only one. The others watching the battle, such as Hassan, Laszlo, and Atesh, were becoming frantic. The battle had attracted the attention of all the top-class experts of the ancient desolate realm of gods. Everyone knew it was a battle that could determine the fate of the entire realm. We can't lose this, Arlo yelled. As a god-eye, he couldn't allow himself to lose to someone who had seized the eyes of the others and fused them into the heavenly path god-eye. But at that moment, it was no longer appropriate to call Kendall's eye a heavenly path godai. The eye at the center of his brow was simply too powerful, and the godai simply couldn't compare. It seemed more fitting to call it a pseudo-ancestral eye. The other godai deities were also enraged. There are 5 of us. How can we possibly lose? They demanded to know, putting all their energy and attention into pushing their god eyes to the limit. Why don't you just surrender? Said Kendall, unable to conceal his joy at the outcome. The evolution of his heavenly path god eye had allowed him to turn this situation to his advantage. A wave of mysterious and hazy light rippled out from his brow. Wherever it went, it dispersed and extinguished all other kinds of energy. When it reached the eye above the 5 gods, it dealt it a massive blow. The 5 gods felt their heads pound like they had been hit by a hammer. But they were not that easy to get rid of, and Kendall was not powerful enough to defeat them directly. Using her spiritual sense, Lady Louisa sent them a message. We are god eyes, so we can grasp the power of the heavenly path god eye faster than Kendall. If his god eye can evolve, so can ours. As soon as they heard her words, the mood of the 5 god eye deities immediately lifted, and their faces lit up with a restored sense of determination. At the same time, Lady Louisa sent her Destiny Origin energy drifting out of the white warship. Her Destiny god eye hadn't fully awakened before, which was why she hadn't joined in with the god eye fusion. But after the continuous stimulation of the 2 heavenly path god eyes, she could now use its full power. The faint white Destiny Origin energy floated away until it was next to the heavenly path god eye above the 5 god eye deities. And it wasn't going to be a direct fusion. She dared not have her Destiny Origin energy mixed with the others. If it did, there was a chance that it could have the opposite effect to the one she had intended. She wanted the 5 gods to use their heavenly path god eye to devour her Destiny Origin energy. The gods instantly understood her intentions and began to focus on absorbing the Destiny Origin energy. Don't even think about it, said Kendall with a steely glare. He was confident that he could beat the god eyes, but nothing was guaranteed, and he simply wouldn't allow anything to stand in the way of his victory. A gray-white light shot out of the pseudo-ancestral eye, transcending space to appear from the other side. Destroy it, Arlo bellowed. Their heavenly path god eye unleashed an energy that could destroy all laws